Hi, Fred, FR5ED here with a beer review. I have reviewed this one rather informally, not that any of these reviews are formal. I'm going to say a couple years back, I had it on tap at World of Beer on one of their Dogfish Head nights. And this is Dogfish Head 61. I don't think I've had it from the bottle before. Again, it was on tap there among many things I tried, and I had been anticipating this. But as I recall, I was not super impressed. Thought it was time to give it a fair chance, again, after a couple of years. Maybe my tastes have changed, who knows. But what this is, if you don't already know, Dogfish Head 60 is a benchmark of an IPA. Not one of my favorites at all. It's not a real West Coast style, real hoppy, bitter IPA. Not big, heavy, it's more of an East Coast, and it's Delaware, so, true to the coast maybe. But it's not a favorite IPA, but still, it is a benchmark. Well, Sam Calagione, as the story goes from my recollection here, on Fridays, he and, I don't know if it's folks at the brewery or his neighbors, get together for a beer, and of course, it was always Dogfish Head 61. Well, some were red wine drinkers, and one of them, maybe it was Sam, went around and dumped some red wine into the glasses of Dogfish Head 60 IPA, 60-minute IPA. And apparently it was well liked by most, if not all. And so Sam and the guys set out on a quest to come up with an official version of that. They tried different red wine grapes, Merlot and Cabernet and all that, and I think they landed on, well, it says here, Syrah. And I'm presuming these are Syrah grapes from California, because the same grapes in Australia are Shiraz, S-H-I-R-A-Z. And my understanding is that Shiraz grapes and from Australia and Syrah, S-Y-R-A-H, grapes from California are the same thing. And whenever you hear me using the term, my understanding, it could easily mean I know nothing of what I talk about. So anyway, I'm letting it warm up a little. It's only been out of the refrigerator for 10 minutes. But anyway, they landed on the Syrah grape. That's where I was in the story. And they liked it. They liked it a lot, and they produced Dogfish Head 61, which is a blend of Dogfish Head 60 IPA and Syrah grapes, or grape must. And I think grape must is the peel and the inner lining of the grape, if I recall correctly. in my understanding. It's 6.5% ABV, and let me just read, while I finish letting this warm up a little bit more, I'm going to quickly read the commercial description. This is a long one. Not really. The continually hopped India Pale Ale brewed with Syrah grape must. That's what it says right there. Now, here's the rating. On Rate Beer, and this is after 763 ratings, so it's pretty established in the ratings, so these are going to, have some weight to them. Overall, 67. In style, what style? What other style is wine and beer? Well, anyway, it rates an 89. So, all right, 89 is not bad. 67 is, not great. Oh, by the way, I mentioned that. It doesn't mention IBUs. Let's look over on Beer Advocate 82, which is good. Okay, and that's after 411 reviews. Not great, but anyway, I'm ready to go ahead and give this another try. So it's been a couple years. Wasn't fond of it then. Maybe I'll find something in it now. Hope this... Well, had a faulty cap on there. Apparently my cap taker offer didn't work properly. It loosened it up so I could take it off, but anyway. I'm using a brandy snifter because that's close to a red wine glass, and yet it's good for, good for IPAs too. All right, well, you got some carbonation there, and it's hard to see on the camera the color, but I've got a strong light right there, and I'm looking, and it looks like an amber ale, like a dark amber ale. Definitely reddish, that would make sense. So it has that appearance. The bubbles are large. This is not a dense head. It was about a little over one finger head, and it's rapidly dissipating, and the bubbles you can see there are quite large. All right, aroma time. Interesting. I can smell both. I can smell a little bit of citrus and pineapple-y melon type fruit, but I certainly smell the grape too, the red wine. So it is a blend in the aromas. Taste time. That's the first sip. Hang on. It is ultra dry. That's the first thing I noticed, was how dry it is. Tooth-sucking dry. Wow, not a touch of sweetness. I get some of the malt from the beer. Not a lot of bitterness from the hops. Well, and Dogfish Head 60 doesn't have lots of bitterness anyway. And I'm not getting a bold wine flavor in there. It's being, I think, overpowered. Something is different in there, certainly, in the taste. Very different. But it's not like I'm identifying, oh, that's a red wine in there. That's a good, and I'm certainly not going to pick out the grape. So I'm still where I was before. I'm not a fan. I love red wine. I love IPAs in separate glasses. To me, this is just me. Hey, a lot of people apparently like this. I mean, not ravingly so, but I like a good IPA. I think the IPA elements here are muted, subdued, kind of robbed. I like a good red wine, and I love Syrah. I'm not tasting Syrah at all. So by taking two things that you like and putting them together doesn't mean you're going to like them as much or even better. And in this case, it holds true. It's the second time I've had this, a couple of years apart. Pretty much the same reaction, not a fan. So anyway, you may like it. Give it a try. This is Dogfish Head 61, which is Dogfish Head 60 IPA, along with some Syrah grape must. So that's that in pretty interesting concoction. And this is Fred FR 5ED, over and out.